We're going to start off with about 2.5 cups of, you can use any flour here. Red Fife is kind of our favorite, but you can use spelt flour, whole wheat flour, any flour will work. So 2.5 cups. We're going to do this in a food processor, but you can definitely do this by hand as well. Chestnuts, if you're roasting them, they're fantastic. I honestly didn't like the quality of the ones I've seen so far, so I'm going to wait a little longer. But in a pinch, they have these vac-packed ones that are already done. They're really good. They're about $1.
You don't have to do the roasting step. Or
Yeah. The smell of roasted chestnuts, and we will do them just because it's traditional and it smells fantastic. But if we're making gingerbread, I'm not going to waste time roasting chestnuts. So about 1 cup, chestnuts whole in there, done.
Chestnuts are a nut, but they're actually rather low in fat and high in fiber. So they don't have the same, nutritional components as some of the other nuts. So you can have more of them, whereas with other nuts, we say go for a little handful, just because the fat and the calories can add up fast.
Little baking powder, so about 2 teaspoons. We're going to add some ground ginger, ground cinnamon. That's all I'm going to add. You can go nutmeg, clove, crazy with it, but I'm going to go heavy on the ginger here because it's gingerbread. This is our sugar that we're going to use. This is actually a coconut sugar. Now, I'm not asking you to go out and find coconut sugar. These aren't going to be as sweet, so you can use whatever you want. You can even use maple syrup. You can use a brown sugar, but I mean, coconut sugar is a little less. I think it's less refined. Is that what it is? And it's got a really nice sort of malty flavor, which works really well with gingerbread. So 1/2 cup in there. So all of our dry ingredients. Food processor, pulse it just until it breaks up the chestnuts. And even if you get some chunks of chestnuts, that's actually really good too. So, okay, done. So dry ingredients done. Wet ingredients. This is pretty simple. 2 eggs. These are actually really nice eggs, nice and yellow. Okay, this guy here, which, does anyone know what this is? You could probably tell by just doing this what ingredient this is. Molasses. Molasses. This is sort of, I think, a key to gingerbread that you don't actually find in a lot of store-bought too, but.
This is in the classic recipe. You have to have molasses.
Yeah, molasses, really, really nice.
So
That's it, mix it through, and now our dry. I'm gonna go slow, take your time. But we don't have time. And mix it through just until everything sort of starts to come together. And what you're doing is you want to build sort of a ball of dough that is slightly tacky and shiny, but it shouldn't be wet. So if you need a little bit more of the flour, you can definitely add a little bit more.
So you want it on the drier side compared to another type of dough.
It's not like a batter. It should resemble a cookie dough. So you'll probably have to abandon the spatula at some point. You can actually probably even put this back into the food processor, mix it around. But knead it a few times. Do it on a cutting board, or if you have a big bowl here, just until you incorporate all of that flour, and you can start to see it come together.
So if you didn't put the molasses, you wouldn't get that color.
No, I mean, if you had brown sugar or that coconut sugar, you get a little bit of that color, but it definitely comes all from that molasses. And the molasses really gives it's the ginger, but when you eat a proper gingerbread cookie, it's the molasses as well that you're tasting. That's very distinct. And so that's pretty much it. Like, I'm gonna go a little bit more just to incorporate the rest of that flour. But this is what you want, is a nice cookie dough that it's wet, but it's not sticking to my hands. Like, if I do this, it's not coming off, right? So that's perfect. So this, we're gonna flatten onto baking sheet, parchment.
And we're doing a spin. We didn't want to do just gingerbread cookies, so we're making biscotti. gingerbread chestnut
Yeah.
biscotti.
But you can cut these out into gingerbread as well
If you want the little shape.
and just cook it once. That would be your gingerbread. Biscotti is cooked how many times? You can probably get it twice. You got it. So biscotti means cooked twice. So that's gonna flatten it out. That's what I'm gonna do, but you can do any shape. In the oven, 350 for about 25-30 minutes. It's gonna come out pretty much looking exactly the same. Then you're gonna slice it into your biscotti and separate them. So the idea is you want sort of that moisture to evaporate, and then lower the heat to 300, so now even lower, and then put them back in to finish for, I don't know why I was spinning like that, but to finish for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and that's what gives you that really nice biscotti crunch. So we got a bunch here that we did before. So we'll grab a couple, but that's what you're looking at right now, right? And if you like it a little softer, don't do that second bake, or only do that second bake for about 5 minutes, just until it gets nice and crunchy. I don't like them where they're rock hard. You're gonna chip some of your teeth. So I go kind of halfway, so it's still crunchy, but it has a nice little, a little bit of a flex, a little bit of a flex to it. So that's beautiful, fantastic on its own. But Christy's like, no, it's not enough. We need hot chocolate.
We need hot chocolate.
All right, so this is,
That's right.
Exactly.
You can't have biscotti
Exactly.
with a beverage, a hot beverage to dip it into.
so this is really, really simple hot chocolate. So we have 1 liter of, I'm going classic milk. You can use almond milk. I actually made one with almond milk too. Tastes great, fantastic. So 1
Whatever
liter.
milk alternative you like.
Bring it up to not even a simmer. So I don't want to see it bubbling. So this is medium heat. Can you see it kind of steaming a little bit? So that's it, it's ready, it's done. We're gonna add 3 dates. I know it seems weird, but I want this hot chocolate to be sort of rich and creamy. Most hot chocolate that you buy, even a lot of recipes that I've seen out there, to get that sort of thick consistency, they add cornstarch. Or a thickener, like a xanthan or some sort of gum thickener. I mean, you can add cornstarch, but dates are a much tastier ingredient than cornstarch, and
You're
it's
getting some natural sweetness
Exactly.
in there, and you're getting some of the fiber from the dates as well. So it's always a good thing if you can go for a whole food in a recipe. You're going to get some nutritional benefits from it.
cocoa powder, 1/4 cup. That's going to go in as soon as it starts simmering, and then our dark chocolate, obviously.
Try to find your 70% or more if you can handle it with your dark chocolate. You're going to get more polyphenol content there, which is the antioxidant that we find in chocolate that may help to lower risk of heart disease.
And you can kind of just crush it up. I'm just throwing it all in here. And it's, you want about 1/2 cup. This is a liter. So this is like 4 1-cup servings. So that's, it's a pretty, it's not like you're eating this entire chocolate bar yourself. And you can even serve, you can probably even do, especially if you're at a party, you can even do like a small kind of 1/2 cup to 1/4 cup serving of hot chocolate. But this is pretty much it. Whisk it through for about a minute, and then buzz it up with a blender. We want to break up those dates, and it's going to make it really, really nice and rich and creamy. There we go. Biscotti. Done. Right.